when you can't use up the whole vegetable. With creative ways to use up the leftovers, Carson is back. And you know, we need to be using our leftovers. There's no such thing as an ugly veggie.
Well,
except for that.
Do you even know what that is?
No.
That is a kohlrabi.
Kohlrabi.
Yeah, I decided to grow them this year. I grew lots of things in my garden, and then I got it and went, do I really want to eat that? So we're going to talk a little bit today about how to use up some of the things that we traditionally throw out.
Okay.
Food waste in North America is at an all-time high. We got to change these practices. So we're going to talk about some options that you can do with the things and the scraps that the chef throws out.
Okay, good.
All right, so let's talk first about alcohol.
Yes.
Because that's our friend, right? So at this time of year, I have a lot of mint. A lot of mint.
It grows like crazy.
Oh, and it's everywhere, and it's taken over. I like to put mint in my preserves, especially my canned peaches and my canned pears. Now you can see it over here. I've put it in. I put a couple of leaves in.
Yeah.
Now, I usually keep these until about February, because that's when I start craving some fresher fruits and stuff. Very simply, I take the fruit out. But what's left is that simple syrup.
Yes.
And that simple syrup with mint in it, fantastic for mojitos, bellinis, you know, the little tropical flavor about that time of year. It is so easy to use, and you already have it, so you're not wasting it, okay? Add a little rum.
Right.
We are in the tropics without going anywhere, yeah.
And so this mint, this is a good way of using your mint because it overgrows. There's nothing you can do with it when it starts to get all wilty and gross.
Well, there is. I'm going to get to that, yeah. There's another little secret about mint coming up, but I want to talk about, we're still on alcohol here. Okay, I have tomatillos.
Yes.
I grew tomatillos this year. These ones didn't get a chance to ripen, okay? So they're a little bit hard, a little bit firm. I can't really eat these because they're going to upset my stomach.
Right.
Instead, what you can do, and a lot of people like to make green tomato jam, deep fried green tomatoes. I love that. I like to put my tomatillos, I'm going to chop one here, throw it into a mill like this, okay?
All right.
So Tracy, I'm going to get you to crank the mill.
Your non-ripe ones, right?
Yeah, my non-ripe ones. And the reason I'm doing this is you can see all this stuff, this pulp is coming out. Yeah, I can use this in my composter. It's fantastic for nitrogen. But more importantly, Tracy, what you've created is this fantastic slurry. Now this is tart, it's tangy, it's sharp. It is amazing in Bloody Marys, in Caesars. Do not lose this. Yeah. This stuff is good. And often people just throw it out because they want all the other stuff. Yeah. Especially when you're doing sauces, nice Roma tomatoes, you're making your tomato sauce, people tend to throw out this part. Totally. Because you don't want watery tomato sauce. Yes. Don't do that. Save it. Amazing in your savory drinks.
What do you do, refrigerate it?
I can it.
Refrigerate it?
I put it into a jar and I jar it and I tuck it away.
Perfect.
I'll often add a little tequila in there to stabilize it.
Okay.
Yeah. Ready to go.
So there's a party happening.
There's a party, absolutely. Another thing that I like to do at this time of year is drying things out, food dehydrate. So again, I've got some big tomatoes. They're gorgeous at this time of year, but they didn't quite ripen in time. What you can do with these is put them into your food dehydrator, kind of like that. Okay, you're going to put them in here for about 3 to 4 hours. It's going to dry them out. So you're going to get tomato chips. You're going to blend that tomato chips, and you're going to make powder. Okay. I want you to smell this powder, Tracy.
Oh, that smells good.
Isn't that good? That's just tomatoes, dried tomatoes.
It almost smells nutty. Like it's got some depth to it.
Add this to your tomato soups. Add it to your chilies. Add it to your pasta sauces just for an extra little kick, but it's full of nutrients as well, and you made it from tomatoes that you probably wouldn't have even gotten to this year.
That's very smart, Carson.
Do the same.
You're a good farmer.
Thank you. I don't want to waste anything.
No, it's good.
I got 50 million peppers this year. I tried some varieties. This is a Mad Hatter. A little bit different. Got so many of them. I'm drying them. I'm making a pepper sauce. I won't get you to smell this because it's really hot and it burned out my nose hairs. It has an alternative purpose. Absolutely. Again, add it to anything you want to add a little spice to. Just kick it up. It's all natural and you made it so you know where it came from. Lovely. Simple in the dehydrator. All right, going across. We talked about herbs and you talked about mint. Okay, I love drying my herbs. These herb dryers, they look a lot like for clothing, but they're for herbs because they allow the airflow through this. Okay, so good. Dried herbs aren't just for cooking, Tracy. You can put dried mint, dried peppermint around the areas of your house where mice come in. Mice do not like the smell of dried herbs, so it stops them. They don't come in, they're like, no, not going in there. Any dried herbs? Oregano, mint, and any of the chive and garlic family. Yeah, so you can put that around the outside of your house, especially around drive sheds or garages. Mice don't like it. They stay away from it. So simple. You can always use it for yourself, of course. Now these and all the products are from Lee Valley, so if anybody's shopping for them, that's where you're going to get them. That's where you find them. Let's talk about what's left over in the garden.
Okay, so what are you doing with this?
This is my chunk of celery. This is the leftover from one of the recipes from the chefs. I'm throwing this in a pot. Okay, I got my ugly kohlrabi. I'm not serving that to my family, I'm sorry, but I'm going to chop it off. I'm going to chop it into some big chunks. Doesn't have to be fancy. That's going into the pot as well.
Perfect.
Okay.
What was
Dirty,
that?
ugly turnips.
Oh.
They didn't go anywhere. They got kind of chewed up.
Yeah.
I'm throwing them into the pot as well.
Got it.
Yeah, all of this is going into the pot. You know the ugly carrots?
The poor ugly carrots.
Yeah, everybody gets the ugly
sorry.
carrot. Snapping it off. It's a little bit
didn't quite make
rubbery.
it.
It's not even crispy because it's the last of the season.
Yeah.
It's going to the pot as well.
All right.
I make tons and tons and tons of stock.
Right.
Vegetable stock. I use this for boiling pasta. I put it in containers like this. I freeze it. My whole side of the freezer, I've got an upright one. The whole wall is all stock. This I use anytime a recipe calls for water, I put this in because you're getting so much more healthy goodness into your family this way. They don't even know it, which is fantastic. Few other things.
Excellent.
Yeah, a few other things that I want to point out before we run out of time. These are the stems of chives.
Yes.
End of season, chop them up, boil them with some of your leftover garlic and some of your onions from here, put it in a spray bottle. Use it for bugs. It's a perfect insecticidal soap. Stops your bugs on your plants.
Nice.
Easy breezy.
Okay, this is like a million ways to use the stuff that we would think is waste. It's not waste. Thanks, Carson.
My pleasure.